Good afternoon, dear children. We can start new lesson, system of particles and rotational motion. Okay, system of particles and rotational motion. Actually, this involves in the first text. Okay, this chapter. Okay, before going to the motion of system of particles, actually you must know about a single particle or a point object and its motion on the application of force. Okay, actually the translational motion of point objects were dealt with the earlier chapters. We already learned. Okay, and here an extended body can be considered as a collection of point objects. Okay, an extended body or a system of particles means actually it is the collection of many point objects. Okay, or collection of many particles. That is the system of particles or a extended body. Okay, here an extended body can be considered, or the system of particles can be considered as the collection of what? Many objects or many particles. Okay, many point objects or many particles. And in order to understand the motion of extended body or system of particles, we should introduce the idea of center of mass. Okay, we should introduce the idea of what? Center of mass. Okay, and the result of application on a system of particles is identical with the result of force applied to a point mass at the center of mass of the system. Okay, actually any system has center of mass. Suppose if we apply a force on a system of particles, actually this is identical with the what? The result of force applied to a point mass on the center of mass of the system. Okay, and this shows that the motion of complicated system can be considered to or can be reduced to one of the motion of its center of mass. Okay, the motion of complicated system can be reduced to one of the motion of its center of mass, because the result of force that is applied to a system of particles is similar to that applied to a point mass on the center of mass. Okay, so this complicated system can be reduced to one of the motion of its center of mass. Okay, and these properties of motion of center of mass and the idea of moment of inertia and these calculations are actually involved in this chapter. Okay. Next we can talk about center of mass. Okay, next we can talk about what? Center of mass. Actually it is a fixed point at which the whole mass of the system may be supposed to be concentrated for describing the its translatory motion. Okay, suppose this pen. Actually this pen consists of a large number of particles. Okay, suppose if we can balance the pen with this finger at any point, that point is actually the center of mass, where the whole mass of this pen is assumed to be concentrated. Okay, that point is called what? The center of mass. Isn't it? It is a fixed point at which the whole mass of the system may be supposed to be concentrated for describing its translatory motion. That is actually the center of mass. It is a fixed point at which center of mass is actually the fixed point at which the whole mass of the system may be supposed to be concentrated for describing its translatory motion. That is actually the center of mass. Okay, and next we can consider the center of mass of a two particle system. Center of mass of a two particle system. That is the equation of center of mass of a system which consisting of two particles. Okay, the equation of center of mass of a system which consisting of two particles. And here we are considering a system of particles. System of particles P1 and P2. Here we are considering a system of particles P1 and P2 of masses M1 and M2. Okay, let R1 and R2 represents the position vector with respect to the origin O. Here R1 represents the position vector of the point P2 with respect to the origin O, and R2 represents the position vector of the particle at P1 with respect to the origin. Then the position vector of center of mass C with respect to the origin is actually RCM. Okay, that is RCM that represents the position vector of center of mass. R suffix CM that represents the position vector of the center of mass. C of the particle with respect to the origin O, that can be written as RCM, that is equal to M1 R1 plus M2 R2 divided by M1 plus M2. Okay, this is the equation that represents the position vector of center of mass of a two particle system. RCM can be written as M1 R1. Okay, mass of first particle into the position vector of that particle plus mass of second particle into position vector of what the second particle, that is M1 R1 plus M2 R2 divided by the total mass M1 plus M2. Okay, that is about the center of mass of the two particle system. Center of mass is actually the fixed point at which the whole mass of the system may be supposed to be concentrated for describing its translatory motion. Next we can study about the center of mass of the two particle system. Consider a system of particles P1 and P2 of masses M1 and M2 respectively. Let R1 be the position vector of the particle P1 with respect to the origin, and R2 be the position vector of the particle P2 with respect to the origin O. Okay, and then position vector of the center of mass C is actually RCM. Okay, then the position vector of the center of mass C of the two particle system can be represented as RCM is equal to M1 R1 plus M2 R2 divided by M1 plus M2. Okay, the equation of position vector of the center of mass of two particle system can be expressed as RCM is equal to M1 R1 plus M2 R2 divided by M1 plus M2. The next about equation of motion of center of mass. Equation of motion of center of mass. Okay, here we are considering a system of particles of masses M1, M2, etc. up to Mn. And the position vectors R1, R2 up to Rn. Okay, consider a system of n particles of masses M1, M2, etc. up to Mn, and position vectors R1, R2, etc. up to Rn. Then the position vector about the center of mass, we already know the equation for center of mass. For two particle system we know RCM is equal to M1 R1 plus M2 R2 divided by M1 plus M2. This M1 plus M2 can be written as the total mass of center of mass, that is represented as capital M. Okay, so instead of M1 plus M2 we can write capital M. Similarly, the center of mass for the system of n particles, how we can represent it? It is written as RCM is equal to, actually like this we can write M1 R1 plus M2 R2 plus etc. plus Mn Rn. Okay, divided by actually M1 plus M2 plus etc. up to Mn. Okay, instead of that we can write what? Total mass capital M. Okay, so we can write capital M. Listen it. And when we can cross multiply this M to the position vector of center of mass RCM. Okay, so it comes like this. MRCM is equal to M1 R1 plus M2 R2 plus etc. up to Mn Rn. That is equation number 1. Okay, this is the position vector about the center of mass. Okay, next we can differentiate this equation. Okay, with respect to time, we can differentiate this equation with respect to time. So mass is constant. We can write d by dt of RCM. D by dt of RCM is equal to M1 into d by dt of R1 plus M2 into d by dt of R2 plus etc. up to Mn into d by dt of what? Rn. Listen it. You know what is dr by dt? Rate of change of displacement is actually what? Velocity. I think you know. Rate of change of displacement. Dr by dt represents the velocity. Dr by dt represents the velocity. Okay, I think you know. So here M as such then d by dt of RCM, that is the differential of position vector of center of mass, that will give the velocity of center of mass VCM. Okay, that is equal to m1 into what is dr1 by dt, actually the velocity of first particle, plus m2 into dr2 by dt, that represents the velocity of second particle, plus etc. up to mn into drn divided by dt, that represents the velocity of the end particle. So we can write mvcm is equal to m1 v1 plus m2 v2 plus etc. up to mn vn. Okay, where we know VCM, that represents the velocity of center of mass, and V1, V2, etc. up to Vn, that represents the respective velocities of particle. Okay, isn't it? You know, mass into velocity, that is actually, you know, what is mass into velocity? Product of mass and velocity is called what? Okay, momentum. Product of mass and velocity is actually momentum. So actually this is MVCM, that represents the momentum of center of mass. Momentum of what? Center of mass. And here m1 v1 plus m2 v2 plus etc. up to mn vn, that represents the total momentum of system. Okay, here RHS, that represents the total momentum of system. Okay, so from equation 2 we can conclude that the momentum of center of mass is equal to the total momentum of the system. Okay, the momentum of center of mass is equal to what? The total momentum of the system. Isn't it? The momentum of center of mass is equal to total momentum of the system. Okay, this is actually represent the equation of motion of what? Center of mass. Here we are considering a system of n particles of masses m1, m2, etc. up to mn, and their corresponding position vectors are r1, r2, etc. up to rn. Then we can write the equation of center of mass. MRCM is equal to m1 r1 plus m2 r2 plus etc. up to mn rn. Then we can differentiate with respect to time. So m into d by dt of RCM is equal to m1 into d by dt of r1 plus m2 into d by dt of r2 plus etc. mn into d by dt of rn. But all of you know dr by dt, that represents the velocity. So instead of drcm by dt, we can write vcm, that represents the velocity of center of mass. So mvcm is equal to, then dr1 by dt equal to the velocity of first particle. So we got m1 v1 plus dr2 by dt represents the velocity of second particle. So we can write v2. So m2 v2 plus etc. up to drn by dt, that represents the velocity of the nth particle, that is vn. So we got plus mn vn. Okay, here the LHS, that represents the momentum of the center of mass, and RHS, that represents the total momentum of the system. Okay, so by observing this equation, we can conclude that the momentum of the center of mass is equal to total momentum of the system. Momentum of center of mass is equal to total momentum of the system. Next, we can differentiate this equation with respect to time. Next, we can differentiate equation number 2 with respect to time. So we got m into d by dt of VCM, that is equal to m1 into d by dt of v1 plus m2 into d by dt of v2 plus etc. up to mn into d by dt of vn. So here we differentiated velocity with respect to time. Okay, but you know what is dv by dt, rate of change of velocity? Rate of change of velocity is, you know, what is it? Acceleration. Okay, rate of change of velocity is acceleration. So instead of d by dt of VCM, we can write what? M into ACM, that is acceleration of center of mass, that is equal to m1 into dv1 by dt, that is the rate of change of velocity of the first particle, that represents the acceleration of first particle, that is a1, plus m2 into d by dt of v2, rate of change of velocity of second particle, that represents the acceleration of second particle, that is a2. Similarly, plus etc. up to mn an. Okay, that is MACM is equal to M1 A1 plus M2 A2 plus etc. up to Mn AN. That is equation number 3. isn't it? But by using Newton's second law, you know, F is equal to ma. By using Newton's second law, we can write F equal to ma. So we can write m into acm, that is equal to, instead of m on a1 we can write the force F1, and instead of m to a2 we can write the force F2, plus etc. up to Fn. Okay, by Newton's second law, F, you know, all of you know F equal to ma. So m on a1 can be written as F1, and m to a2 can be written as F2, plus etc. up to m and an can be written as Fn. So here MACM, that can be written as the total force F. So F can be written as F1 plus F2 plus etc. plus up to Fn. That is the force. So here we proved that what the force applied on the center of mass, that is equal to force on the system. Okay, that is F can be written as F1 plus F2 plus etc. up to Fn. Okay, here we got this equation 2, that is MVCM is equal to M1V1 plus M2V2 plus etc. up to MNVN. Next, what we did is what differentiate. Again, we differentiate this equation with respect to time. So, M into d by dt of VCM is equal to M1 into d by dt of V1 plus M2 into d by dt of V2 plus etc. up to Mn into d by dt of Vn. All of you know dv by dt, rate of change of velocity, represents the acceleration. So this represents MACM, that is equal to M1 A1 plus M2 A2 plus etc. Mn An. But by Newton's second law, you know, force F equal to Ma. So this M1 A1 we can write F1 plus F2 plus etc. up to Fn. This MACM can be written as F. So the force on center of mass is equal to the total force of the system, that is F equal to F1 plus F2 plus etc. up to Fn. Okay, that is the equation of motion of center of mass. Next, about momentum conservation and motion of center of mass. Momentum conservation and motion of center of mass. Here also we are considering a system of n particles of masses m1, m2 etc. up to mn, moving with the velocities v1, v2 etc. up to vn. Okay, then total momentum of the system. How we can represent the total momentum of the system? P can be written as, you know, m1 v1 plus m2 v2 plus etc. up to mn vn. Okay, this is the total momentum of the system, isn't it? And here, you know, m, we already know m VCM, that is also equal to what? M1 V1 plus M2 V2 plus etc. plus Mn Vn. That is the momentum of center of mass, that is equal to M1 V1 plus M2 V2 plus etc. up to Mn Vn. From comparing these two equations, we can write P equal to what? M VCM. P can be written as M VCM. Okay. Then we can differentiate with respect to time. Differentiate with respect to time. We got dP by dt, that is equal to M into d by dt of VCM. Okay, dP by dt is equal to M into d by dt of VCM. You know, rate of change of velocity of center of mass is equal to that, you know, acceleration of center of mass. So we can write M ACM. M ACM. So we got dP by dt is equal to M ACM. Or actually this MACM, that represents the external force, that is F external is equal to M ACM. The external force F external is equal to M ACM. Okay, and comparing these two equations, here dP by dt equal to M ACM, here F external is equal to M ACM. Here RHS are equal, so we got dP by dt is equal to what? F external. Okay, dP by dt is equal to F external. Suppose if F external is equal to 0, then we will get what? dP by dt is equal to 0. If dP by dt is equal to 0, then P is a constant. If dP by dt is equal to 0, P must be a constant. P remains constant. That is the momentum of the center of mass of the system remains constant in the absence of external force. This is actually called the law of conservation of what momentum of center of mass. Law of conservation of momentum of center of mass. Okay, in the absence of any external force, the momentum of center of mass remains constant. Okay, here F external equal to 0, dp by dt equal to 0. Okay, you know the derivative of a constant is 0. Okay, here dp by dt 0 means P must be a constant. So, in the absence of any external force, the momentum of center of mass that remains constant. That is called law of conservation of center of mass. Law of conservation of center of mass. Okay, here we are considering a system of n particles of masses m1, m2, etc. up to mn with move with velocities v1, v2, etc. Up to vn. Then therefore the total momentum of the system can be represented as P equal to m1 v1 plus m2 v2 plus etc. up to mn vn. Okay, but you know m into vcm that can be written as, that is already learned, m1 v1 plus m2 v2 plus etc. up to mn vn. Okay, so from comparing these two, we can write P is equal to m into VCM. Okay, then next we can differentiate this equation with respect to time. So, dp by dt is equal to m into d by dt of VCM. You know, a d by dt of VCM that actually represents the rate of change of velocity of center of mass. That is equal to the acceleration of the center of mass. So, we got dp by dt is equal to MACM. Okay, by Newton's second law, the external force is equal to MACM. Okay, here we got dp by dt equal to MACM. Also, F external is equal to MACM. Therefore, dp by dt is equal to F external. dp by dt is equal to what? F external. Suppose if the external force is equal to 0, that is F external equal to 0, dp by dt is equal to 0. Here the derivative of P is 0. So, P must be a constant. Okay, actually the derivative of a constant is 0. Here dp by dt 0 means P must be a constant. Hence the momentum of the center of mass of the system remains constant in the absence of external force. This is called law of conservation of momentum of center of mass. This is called the law of conservation of momentum of center of mass. Okay. Okay children, today's class we have discussed about the center of mass. What is mean by center of mass? The whole mass of that is actually a fixed point where the whole mass of the system is assumed to be concentrated. Okay. Next we have learned about the equation of center of mass, that is MRCM is equal to M1R1 plus M2R2, or as RCM can be written as M1R1 plus M2R2 divided by M. Okay, next we have learned about the momentum conservation and the motion of center of mass. That is, in the absence of any external force, the momentum of the total momentum of the center of mass that remains constant. Okay, okay children, that is the end of today's class. Actually, this is a tough lesson. You study well. Okay, thank you.